right, if the riffs didn't give it away, then the tone certainly should. What band was that? And if you don't know, maybe you shouldn't be watching this channel, or keep watching it because you will learn who it is and why they're so important. It's 2025. You got to stand out. Everything's been done. Everybody's doing everything. So what's the best way to stand out? Try something different, but also do things with intent. So what are we going to talk about today? We're talking about tone. We're talking about finding and honing in and dialing in a certain tone, right? Whether it's like a hard rock tone that you want, or a crushing metal tone, or like a super genty, tight, chuggy tone, whatever. Most of the time you have the tools in your arsenal to do that if you just get a little creative and spend a little time and, get to know your tools. So that's what I'm going to talk about today. What's up, everybody? I'm Rich, and this is Groundwork Sound in Somerville, New Jersey, and I help bands capture that live, raw energy in the studio. What we're going to do today is find the Obituary Cause of Death tone. Yes, and we are going to do that using the Boss Katana. The way a band sounds, right off the bat is kind of like one of their calling cards, right? If you can differentiate a band immediately from just like a couple seconds, just by literally their sonic landscape, they're in the front row. So back in the days of like old school, earlier death metal, bands like Obituary stood out because they kind of crossed over the doom and death metal. They took all that, in my opinion, and put it into a great, like, sludgy death metal doom tone. Like, call it whatever you want. It really doesn't matter. I've dialed in a couple tones on my katana that I really feel capture that same tone and same feel. And when they're put together, they really create a great texture that I think is quite identical to Cause of Death. And why am I talking about this? Because you want to get the tones that you want. You don't want to kind of be sitting there starting from scratch 100 times just because, you can't pick apart what they're doing and apply it to your own setup. So that's what I'm going to talk about. I'm actually screen recording my Katana interface. So the great thing about this amp is I can control it from my computer. All right, so this is my setup for my first channel. This is what it sounds like. Pretty awesome. Pretty close to the Obituary sound, in my opinion. There's one little secret. I'm going to reveal it shortly after I go through, how I dialed in these two channels. All right, so going through channel one really quick, as you can see here, I'm using my amp as my main source of gain, and I dialed in my EQ like so. Bass about halfway, mids a little bit less. On this channel, I felt like scooped out about this much was pretty good, and still maintain clarity without being overbearing. I dialed in the treble and the presence so that this was my slightly more bright channel. It's not going to be so bright that it's going to be different from the other tone. We really want them to kind of be a little bit different but still complement one another and fill in the gaps where the other one kind of falls short. And again, I think the one thing that makes this tone really pop out is this booster here. If I turn that off, it's subtle, but that pick attack is there. So when I show you that secret reveal in a second, you're going to see why having that little bit of extra edge on the top is important. So that's channel one. Here's channel two. Pretty good. Pretty good. It's a little bit mid-centric for me, but like I said, I want those mids there because when I do this one other secret thing, those mids are going to support that move. So again, I'm using the brown setting, gain at about halfway. Bass a little bit less, even though the tone is darker. I think also taking down the mids and the presence is kind of adding to that. And I'm not using as much of a boost. I'm actually just using this like a tiny, tiny bit, but it makes a big difference. When I turn the boost back on, just a At 2. Can't even get it back there. All right, I'm just going to leave it at 1. Perfect. That's all we need. All right, cool. So to remind you, this is what channel 1 sounds like. Channel 2. All right, so I told you guys I had a little secret. I got my tones dialed in. I think they sound good together. We're going to see what that really sounds like in just a second. But how am I going to get it to sound even more like Obituary? It's great, but we're really trying to dial it in here. All I'm going to do is dial back my tone knob on my guitar. That's it. All right, I'm going to chug for real on the geet and turn the tone knob so you guys can hear what it sounds like. I'm in channel 1. You hear it rolling off the highs? But why did I keep those highs and, mids in there before? Because even just on the amp itself with the guitar, with the tone knob all the way up, it doesn't sound exactly like Obituary, but like the foundation is there. So this is literally all I have to do. I think it could even go a little bit more. Yeah. It's pretty there. I don't want to roll it all the way back because it's a little too much, but I think that's pretty good. That's a pretty good balance. Now let's do the same with channel 2. I think those sound pretty good. I think we're sounding more like the Obituary that everybody knows and loves, specifically Cause of Death. So let's lay down a riff and see what it sounds like in context. All right, that's one. We'll do the other one. Let's see, shall we? comes. Oh my God. Pretty gnarly. The one thing I think I would do a little bit differently, I'd probably roll the tone knob back a little bit more. Let's just do another quick pass of each one. I'm going to roll it all the way back and then just give it a scotch forward. All right, that was a doozy. Let's do the other one. All right, to me, that already sounds better. All right, let's see what's transpired, my friends. Oh, yeah. There it is. The heaviest part ever written, maybe. The first one's pretty good. But it's a little too cutting, a little bit too much. But come on. If I told you that this was were the Obituary original tracks, you might be silly enough to believe me. The real test. Boom. I am very happy with that. I'm very happy with that. And again, we just used the katana, the line out. No mics. Didn't have to worry about any of that crap. I love bringing you guys these videos. You know why? Because I hope they help you. I hope you go home and be like, hey, I'm going to go try to sound like Obituary with my Line 6 Spider. As you should. Is your God-given right. It's your birthright. But seriously, folks, you know, what did we learn? What did we learn here today? In conclusion, remember back in school? In conclusion, we got a good bass tone. We got a good bass tone, right? We got two of them. We got two that complement one another, right? And then we dialed them in so the highs of this one kind of fill in where the other tone lacks, right? You know, dial back the lows and mids of this one, maybe bump the other one up. Just play around with the EQ, play around with, you know, different boosts and drives and distortions, see what works. Get the most out of what you've got just by being creative and, you know, moving with intent. So using my knowledge of what of how guitars and pedals and amps and everything interact with one another to just get a good sound. And you know, everybody's capable of it. It's just going to take a little bit of time and messing around, but to me that's the most fun part. And then when you dial it in, boom, you can just lock in and hit record and go right to outer fucking space. I don't know. But anyway, I hope this video has been very helpful to you. I had fun making it, as I do making all these videos. And let me know what you guys want to see more of, and I'll be glad to you know, try to get those videos up. I appreciate you tuning in. If you have any projects you're working on, want to reamp something, you got some questions about how to get specific tones, you know, maybe dialing the tone off of one of your favorite records, hit me up, leave a comment, send a message, and don't forget to hit the follow button. And I'll be back with another video next time. Appreciate it. I'm Rich. This is Groundwork Sound. Later.